Okay, so anyone new to DJing, do not make the same mistake I made because it was an absolute nightmare. So I'd been DJing for about 6 weeks. I'd had my equipment for about 6 weeks. So obviously it's all new to me. It's exciting. I'm enjoying making playlists. I was just delving deep into music, like more than ever, which, I always do anyway, but more so because I had this passion and this drive to be DJing. So I don't know about you, where you source music from. Obviously, you pick up songs that you're going to play when you're out and about. You hear them everywhere. But a big source of where I was collecting my music was actually on Spotify. So when I hear a song, I was putting it in a playlist that I liked, collecting them in Spotify playlists, and then I was going on Beatport to actually buy the tracks. So this is where I'm just doing my own thing. I mean, I'm not great with technology. I've always said that. I am getting better, but I suppose this was a rookie error. So I had my playlist on Spotify with the music that I liked. I was then buying it on Beatport, and my decks and everything that I was DJing with was coming through Recordbox. So I had all my tracks that I'd bought downloaded in Beatport. I was then crossing them over to my laptop, all making sense so far. Seems nice and simple, which it was. It was all working great. And then from the downloads, I was then dragging them into my record box and DJing with them. So the playlist in there was fine. I was making them any way I wanted to, like whether it was a chill set, a club set, poolside set, whatever, that was fine. In my record box, they were all there. I knew what I was doing. I could play and mix and do what I wanted to do. So the more tracks I was getting, obviously, the more is on my laptop. And I knew that couldn't happen forever because I just couldn't have thousands of songs one day on my laptop. So I decided to have like a bit of a day of an admin day and clean everything out. This is where everything went wrong. And it should have been really simple, but I didn't know this at the time. So I'm telling you, so you don't have to have the drama that I had, because I literally was about to cry. So I have this admin day. I start deleting files, cleaning up files, moving tracks that seem to be copied twice. I didn't know why I had two versions of so many songs when I had only downloaded them once on Beatport. And I was putting stuff in the trash. And then I was cleaning up all the files. So I was putting things in different places, music, whatever. And I crossed a lot over onto an external hard drive to my USB. Thankfully, okay, because this ended up being the savior. Next day, quite, innocently and naively, I get onto the decks and I get my record box up and I'm about to start mixing and playing the first track and doing what I wanted to do that day. And everything in my record box, every track in every playlist had an orange little exclamation mark next to it. And they couldn't find any tracks. Now I go into a panic because I don't know why, I don't know what's going on. So looking everywhere for these tracks. There's nothing in record box. I mean, this is hundreds and hundreds of euros of music. So let alone the drama and the panic that was setting in. The financial panic was like giving me a sweat. So this was awful. So I'm looking everywhere on my computer and Googling tracks. Some were popping up, some weren't, but there was nothing in my record box. Okay. So this was the thing I didn't know, that is completely simple, but just keep this in mind if you're brand new like I was. When you put your Beatport music or wherever you've downloaded that track from or wherever you've paid for it and put it onto your computer, when you then cross it into Record Box will always take that from that location. It knows the location it is, and that's where it's playing it from. So when I moved that track from the folder it was in and put it into another folder, Record Box couldn't find it anymore. Now, thankfully, in the end, I'd backed up most of the tracks on my USB, and the other ones were in either trash or in a new folder, and I could do it all again. I mean, it took me the whole day doing this whole thing again. But point of the story is, when you get your tracks on your laptop, wherever you're playing them from, and if you're playing them and then dragging them into Record Box, keep them in the same place. And if not, you're going to have to drag them back in again and start again from that new location. Easy enough, not a problem, but when you don't know why they've disappeared, that is a nightmare. I hope that makes sense, because it's quite complicated to explain because it was so mind-blowing on the day. So if you have any questions or you've had any experiences like this as well, I'd love to hear in the comments, and let's have a little chat, because I'm new on this journey, and if we can cut corners and learn these things together, it'd be really, really helpful. And I'm just grateful that one, I got all the tracks back, but two, that didn't happen to me at a gig and I wasn't about to go live, because there would be nothing worse if I was actually using my own equipment, not playing from a USB, and going into my tracks and there was no tracks there. So just thought I'd share that because this is a very new venture to me, but I am diving in full steam ahead, learning daily, learning hopefully at quite a fast pace, loving the journey so far. So I'd love to connect with you guys if you're doing the same. And of course, give me some advice, share some tips, and yeah, enjoy the music. See you later.